Is this working? This is working. Okay. You might notice my background. What's it called? My set is a little bit different this week. I am at a family cabin at an unknown, undisclosed location. And I'm doing a little writer weekend. And by weekend, I mean like 24 hours. And I thought, what would be really great to do during this time? Also, read a chapter. So, you might get one video with this background. You might get two. If I'm feeling extra crazy, you might get three. Because there's literally no one else here with me. It's just me. I just got here. I changed out of my jeans into my PJ pants because I'm going to read, and then I'm going to set a timer and work for 2 hours. And then probably, maybe, depending on how we're feeling, read yet another chapter. Because I don't have any children here with me to be like, Mom, what do you need? So here we go. Chapter 14. Oh, hey, pause. I have a drink this time. This episode sponsored by the Soda Barn. Just kidding. They're not a sponsor. Don't sue me. I don't normally get soda, especially not this big. But one thing that you need if you're going to try and just write for like 16 hours is caffeine. So they got me covered. Okay, chapter 14, Tuesday, December 18th. December 1808. Everyone is counting down to break. 2 days. Only 2 days left of school before Christmas break. Then 6 months later, I'm 100% done with high school. And then I have to figure out what to do with the rest of my life. Dad wasn't kidding when he told me to have a backup plan in case surfing didn't work out. I always thought he just wanted me to finish school. He probably meant an injury, but I don't think either of us pictured me going out this way. So, I have nachos, tacos, and a burrito, Wyatt said, setting down 2 trays of food. Setting 2 trays of food down on the table. What do you want? Nachos. Nellie reached across the table and slid a tray toward herself. She closed her journal and stuffed it in her bag before returning her attention to her plate of fried chips covered in meat, melted cheese, and diced tomatoes. Did you get one of these? Wyatt pulled one of Sarah's pink flyers from his pocket and uncrumpled it. Yeah, Sarah gave me like 13 of them, Nellie said, rolling her eyes. I'm not going. Nellie's last few boyfriends were mega partiers, as she called them. Because of said exes, Nellie had a lot of experience with bonfires thrown by popular kids. They were all the same. Too much smoke, too much drama, and not nearly enough chocolate to be worth putting up with the aforementioned. Whatever, it's my first time getting invited, and I'm going, Wyatt said. He took a bite of his burrito, chewed a few times, and then swallowed. Maybe I'll meet some hot babes there. Wyatt wiggled his eyebrows. Gross. Nellie threw a cheeseless chip at Wyatt, who ducked out of the way. Just don't whine to me if it's lame. You should come with me. It could be fun, Wyatt said. He took another bite of his burrito. You go. I'm going to stay home and watch a movie. Nellie poked at her nachos. Hey, is that them? Wyatt pointed with his burrito to a spot behind Nellie. Nellie turned and saw Emma and Nikki walking away from where she and Wyatt were sitting. Yeah, that's them. Emma looked back at them. Wyatt turned away, pointing his nose in the air like he was looking at something very far away in a very different direction. Nellie, who had waited a second longer to turn around, saw Emma's face grow suddenly concerned before she looked away. That was weird, Nellie said. Wyatt asked, his mouth full of burrito. Emma looked worried, Nellie said. Dude, let it go. Wyatt swallowed. It's probably part of her master plan to get you to go over there and ask what's wrong so she can get you to do whatever it is they want. That is a really stupid plan. Nellie laughed and picked a chip off her plate. Don't blame me. It's her stupid plan, Wyatt said. He ate the last bite of his burrito. 18 December 2008. It's lunchtime and I'm hiding in the library. I should get something to eat, but I feel too queasy to worry about food just now. I keep thinking about how I acted yesterday. I don't blame Nikki or Nellie for not wanting anything to do with me. Are we done? One more? No, we're done. Okay. In additional news, I broke my wrist yesterday. I've got a bright yellow half cast on it. The color makes me happy. I knew there was one more. The color makes me happy, even if the ache in my wrist doesn't. Emma! Nikki whispered. Emma looked up and saw Nikki pulling up a chair to her table. Nikki's eyes widened when she saw the yellow cast. What happened? Nikki whispered. Emma glanced around and then leaned closer to Nikki. I had a vision after I left Miranda's yesterday. It was a pretty strong one, and I fell and broke my wrist. The doc said it was a clean break and should heal pretty fast. Does it hurt? Nikki asked. I've never broken a bone before. It mostly throbs now, Emma admitted. Want to sign it? This was not her first broken bone, but it was the first time she'd had a friend to sign the cast. Sure, Nikki said. So what was the vision about? She pulled a Sharpie from her bag and doodled as Emma told her about the vision. That sounds way more intense than the last time you saw the bonfire, Nikki said, stopping mid-doodle to look at Emma. Yeah, it was. Emma sighed. Also, I'm sorry for how I acted yesterday. I'm sorry. You were trying to keep the peace, Nikki said. More like failing to keep the peace. Emma's stomach growled. Nikki's stomach growled almost in response. She frowned and laughed. Want to get lunch? Actually, yes, Emma said, smiling. As they walked down the stairs outside, Emma felt someone looking at her. She turned and saw Nellie sitting with a boy who turned away quickly. She saw his profile and felt suddenly sick. Emma turned quickly, hoping Nellie hadn't seen her face. It was him, she breathed the words as she sat. What? Nikki asked. The profile from my vision, Emma said. It's Wyatt, Nellie's friend. Should we tell Nellie? Emma chewed her lip for a moment before answering. Probably, but do you think she'll believe us? Probably not, Nikki admitted, pushing her tray away. Geez, this is a rough gig. How do we warn someone of danger when he probably won't even believe us? I get visions for 3 basic reasons. To witness the event, to ensure the outcome, or to stop it. So, we stop it? We have to, Emma said simply, Emma said simply, though the doing of such a task was far from simple. December 18th, 2008. Sorry, I'm just going to reach across you. All right. Don't close. Don't do it. Don't do it. Can you tell I'm not a professional at this? Not even a little bit. December 18th, 2008. At Ethel's again. No one was here, but Emma has a key. Emma also said Ethel mentioned my grandma was back. Finally. Emma is grabbing me a candle right now. I want to show Grandma what Gabby's taught me so far. I think I just heard them pull up. Merry meet, dear hearts, Kate said when she and Ethel came in and saw the girls. Hi, Kate, Emma said, giving her a one-armed hug with her good arm. I heard about your fall, dear, Kate said. Can you do anything about it? Nikki asked. I could try, but my knowledge of healing magic is more of curses and poisons rather than simple breaks, Kate admitted. Your late grandfather was the healer in our family. Don't worry about it, Emma said, smiling as Ethel gave her a hug. Kate hugged Nikki and asked, How have your lessons with Gabby been going? Let me show you. Nikki pulled out of the hug and pointed to the candle which sat on the table. She took a deep breath and raised her hands, palms down, middle and ring. Hold on, I skipped lines. And raised her hands, palms down. She flicked her right hand upwards, the candle lit. Leading the flame with her middle and ring fingers, she pulled it off the candle. Turning her left hand palm up, she led the floating flame to hover above her palm. That's quite good, Kate said. I'm not done yet, Nikki said. With another deep breath, she repeated the process 2 more times, leaving 3 little flames hovering over her left palm. With her right hand still open, she moved her index finger in a small circle counterclockwise. The flames moved accordingly. Nikki slowly moved her left palm out from underneath the dancing flames. They floated, bobbing up and down. She put her left palm back under the flames and pulled her right hand back. The flames slowed. Nikki brought her right hand almost up over the flames. As she closed her right hand slowly, the flames got smaller and smaller until, in little puffs of smoke, they went out. Now I'm impressed, Kate said as she took Nikki by the shoulders. You're picking this up much faster than even I anticipated. She hugged Nikki again. I know you told me you could do it, but it's way cooler to see in person, Emma said. Nikki grinned. We can start working on controlling larger flames today if you'd like, Kate said, releasing Nikki. That would be awesome. Nikki put the candle back in the kitchen. You can use the small pit in the backyard, Ethel told Kate. I'll fetch a few things from my room and meet you outside, Kate said as she started to head back up the stairs to the back of the house. She stopped halfway up and called back, Nikki, did Gabby teach you the fire protection spell? She did, Nikki called back, coming into the dining room. I'll meet you in the back then? Yes, dear, Kate said. Her footsteps faded up the stairs. Nikki disappeared into the backyard, leaving Ethel and Emma alone in the dining room. I believe it's time we spoke about your reading, Ethel said to Emma. Ethel sat at the table and pulled a chair back, inviting Emma to sit. I'd rather not, Emma picked at her cast. I'm an old woman, Emma. My time is not as it once was, Ethel said, gesturing to the chair. A bit crestfallen, Emma sat. Do you remember the first image you saw? A cat, Emma answered after a moment. It suggests clairvoyant powers, but we already knew that. Do you remember what happened next? You saw a lion, Emma said, still picking at her cast. She was now gently tapping her heels. Yes, which leads to divine power. What else? Emma curled her feet around the front legs of her chair. She sat straighter and looked her grandmother square in the eye. Emma took a long, deep breath through her nose and then cleared her throat. The words wouldn't come. She knew exactly what the lion meant. It had been the dragon in the room since that day. Finally, Emma said, 3 peaks, the 3 planes of consciousness. Yes. Have you been preparing? I've been trying not to think about it, Emma murmured, shaking her head. Ethel sighed. You know what this means. I can barely handle the new visions, Emma said, her voice trembling. She took a steadying breath. I broke my wrist. I passed out. I haven't had visions like that since I was little. Your visions now are stronger than your visions as a child. As you grow, your visions grow with you. Your mother didn't want us to tell you this, but I think the time has come. Passing out during a vision is like psychic growing pains. They will happen throughout your life as your powers grow indefinitely, Ethel said. I knew that, Emma said. The words came out a bit sharper than she had intended. I know, Ethel said softly. However, we have suspected for quite some time now that you will be the one to transcend all 3 planes. Ethel took Emma by the right hand, looking her eye to eye. My dear, there will come a time when your visions will no longer follow the rules you've learned. That's not possible. I only see what I'll be there to physically see, Emma said, pulling her hand back from her grandmother. That's how it's always worked. You'll need the girls to make the initial transition, but once there, you will see the past, present, and future. You will be witness to all of it in spirit, though you may not be physically present for the events. You possess divine power. How do you know this? Because of who your mother was and who your father is, and because of what your reading told me. Wait. You said is. Who my father is, not was. Is he alive? Emma sat up. We must talk about your reading, child, Ethel said, closing her eyes as she clenched her fists. One slip. No, we need to talk about my father. Emma raised her voice. Mom said he died. Who is he? What's his name? Where is he? What? Emma's voice broke. Why has he never come for me? Ethel pressed her lips together, willing herself to remain strong. Time presents information when you need it, Ethel finally said. I need it now. This isn't a vision. This is my father, Emma said, standing. This was not the first time she had experienced pain as a result of a lie, but it was the first time the lie had come from Ethel, from the woman she had never had a reason to mistrust until now. The pain, betrayal, and confusion bubbled in Emma's chest, burning in her throat and sending heat to her face. Emma, Ethel said, taking Emma's hand and squeezing it. Please, do not ask of me that which I cannot tell you. There was a moment of silence where Emma struggled, staring into her grandmother's eyes. She sat with a thunk. What about my reading? Emma finally asked, steely-voiced. You have attained the 3rd level of consciousness. You must meditate and focus to reach the 2nd and 1st levels. Emma closed her eyes to avoid rolling them. So I need Nikki to reach the 2nd, but I need both Nikki and Ellie to reach the 1st? Yes and no. Emma clenched her jaw, waiting for an explanation. She was in no mood to play her grandmother's games. The girls can help you reach the 2nd and 1st levels, but you can do that on your own if you meditate with enough diligence. You need the girls to reach all 3 levels simultaneously. Simultaneously? The lion meant divine power literally? This news pushed Emma's father momentarily from her mind. Yes, Ethel said. But what does it mean? Dun, dun, dun. That is the end of chapter 14. As always, you can purchase this pretty little book on Amazon if you would like to. And if you just can't wait, you can't wait until next week for chapter 15. Y'all, we're so close. We're almost, not quite, almost halfway through the book. Almost. This close. So, thanks for being here. Maybe the next video has this background. Maybe it doesn't. You'll have to wait until next week to find out. See you then.